Welcome to Odd Crime Chronicles. Hello! Let's dive into the story. I don't think people understand the true horror of domestic violence until they hear the story of Yaser Abdel Said. Shadows of Violence, a Troubled Past. The story of Yaser Abdel Said is one shrouded in darkness and fear, a tale that begins long before he ever set foot in America. Yaser Abdel Said, born in Egypt, carried a darkness within him. From a young age, his stern and intense demeanor hinted at the turmoil that lay beneath the surface. Even before he set foot on American soil, whispers of violence followed him. Stories of his aggressive nature and controlling behavior were already part of his shadowy past. He found Patricia, a young woman, and made her his wife. Patricia, unaware of the storm she was stepping into, believed in the promise of a new life. Their union was built on power and control. Yaser's need to dominate and control every aspect of their relationship soon became evident. 3 daughters, Islam, Amina, and Sarah, were born into this web of fear. Each child, innocent and full of potential, was soon ensnared in their father's oppressive grip. Yaser's true nature lay coiled, waiting to strike. His temper was unpredictable, and his wrath was something the family learned to fear deeply. The beatings began, first directed at Patricia, then his daughters. What started as verbal abuse quickly escalated to physical violence, leaving scars both seen and unseen. Their home became a prison of terror. The walls that should have provided safety instead echoed with cries of pain and fear. The seeds of a monstrous crime were sown in domestic violence. Each act of cruelty planted deeper roots of terror, setting the stage for an unimaginable tragedy that would one day unfold. As the years passed, the tension within the household grew. The clock ticked ominously, each second bringing them closer to a breaking point. To the outside world, they appeared as a normal family, but behind those forced smiles lay a reality of constant fear and control. The storm was brewing, and it was only a matter of time before it would unleash its full fury. The seeds of violence had been sown, and the harvest would be devastating. The lives of Patricia, Islam, Amina, and Sarah were shattered, their dreams broken by the relentless cycle of abuse. The mirror of their lives, once whole, now lay in pieces. Yet, amidst the darkness, there was a flicker of hope. The strength and resilience of the human spirit can sometimes shine through even the darkest of times. The possibility of escape lingered, a door slightly ajar, offering a glimpse of freedom from the terror that had become their daily reality. And so, with each sunrise, there was a glimmer of hope for a new beginning, a chance to break free from the chains of their troubled past and find a better future. But what drove Yaser to such extremes? What dark secrets lie in the shadows of his past? Stay tuned as we unravel the chilling details of this harrowing tale. And let's go! A Cage of Fear. Yaser's Reign of Terror. The story of Yaser's reign is one of control, fear, and oppression. His daughters, Amina and Sarah, lived in a world where their every move was scrutinized, and their every action was judged. The cage they lived in was not just physical, but emotional and psychological as well. As the girls blossomed into young women, Yaser's grip tightened. He saw their growing independence as a direct threat to his authority. The more they tried to assert their own identities, the more he clamped down, using fear and intimidation as his tools. He saw their independence as a threat to his authority. Any sign of rebellion was met with harsh punishment. The girls were not allowed to have friends, go out, or even express their own opinions. Yaser's word was law, and any deviation from it was unacceptable. Dating was forbidden, punishable by his wrath. The idea of his daughters forming relationships outside his control was intolerable to him. He believed that by keeping them isolated, he could maintain his grip on them forever. He monitored their every move, his eyes burning with suspicion. Yaser would often spy on them, ensuring they were not stepping out of line. The girls felt like prisoners in their own home, constantly under surveillance. The girls lived under a suffocating blanket of fear. Every day was a struggle to maintain a facade of obedience while yearning for freedom. The psychological toll was immense, leaving them feeling hopeless and trapped. Amina dared to defy her father, finding solace in a young man named Joseph. Their relationship was a secret, a small rebellion against the oppressive regime they lived under. For Amina, Joseph represented a glimmer of hope, a chance at a normal life. But their secret was not safe from Yaser's gaze. He was always watching, always waiting for a misstep. The discovery of their romance was inevitable, and when it happened, the consequences were dire. When he discovered their romance, his fury knew no bounds. Yaser's anger was explosive, and he confronted Amina and Joseph with a rage that was terrifying. The home, once a place of refuge, had now become a battleground. Their home had now become a powder keg, the fuse lit and burning steadily. The tension was palpable, and everyone knew it was only a matter of time before it all exploded. The reign of terror that Yaser imposed on his family was unsustainable, and the fallout would be devastating. Desperate measures. Escape from a tyrant. Amina and Sarah knew they had to escape their father's clutches. They plotted their escape in whispers, their plans veiled in secrecy. Las Vegas shimmered on the horizon, a beacon of hope. With their boyfriends, they dared to dream of a future free from tyranny.
But fate had other plans. Yaser caught wind of their plans. The girls were forced to abandon their escape, retreating back into the lion's den. Time, they knew, was running out.
A New Year's tragedy, the ultimate betrayal. The new year dawned, a symbol of hope. Yaser, with chilling calm, lured his daughters into his taxi.
He promised them a fresh start.
The girls allowed themselves a flicker of hope. They climbed into the taxi, unaware they were stepping into a mobile tomb. Their destination was a deserted parking lot in Irving, Texas. Yaser stopped the car, his eyes devoid of love. He drew a gun, the metal glinting coldly in the dying light. Silent justice, the elusive fugitive. Gunshots shattered the stillness of the night.
My dad, he shot me. I'm dying.
Amina slumped in her seat, her lifeblood staining the upholstery. Sarah managed to reach for her cell phone, her trembling fingers dialing 911. Her voice, a mix of panic and desperation, painted a chilling picture. Yaser melted into the shadows, leaving behind unimaginable carnage. The manhunt began, a frantic race to bring a monster to justice. Yaser Abdel Said became a ghost story, a cautionary tale of a father's wrath. Whispers in the dark. The hunt for Yaser. Days bled into weeks, weeks into months, months into years. The trail ran cold, the whispers of Yaser's whereabouts fading. The families of Amina and Sarah clung to the hope that their killer would be brought to justice. Rumors swirled, whispers hinting at Yaser's whereabouts. Sightings were reported, only to evaporate upon closer inspection. The case took on a mythical quality, a modern-day manhunt fueled by determination and desperation. The net closes in. Capture in a quiet town. In the heart of a seemingly tranquil town, a dramatic event was about to unfold. one that would bring an end to a long and arduous manhunt. The call came in on a sweltering August day in 2020. The air was thick with heat, and the town seemed to be in a state of lethargy, unaware of the storm brewing beneath its calm surface. A tip, more urgent than any before, carrying the ring of truth. The voice on the other end was shaky but determined, providing details that could not be ignored.
Yaser Abdel Said had been spotted in Justin, Texas. The name sent chills down the spines of the officers, for they knew the gravity of capturing such a fugitive.
A sleepy town, an unlikely hideout. Justin, Texas, with its quiet streets and friendly faces, seemed the last place anyone would expect to find a man on the run. The tipster provided an address, a nondescript house on a quiet street. It was the kind of place where neighbors knew each other, and the arrival of strangers was rare. The authorities mobilized a team, their movements cloaked in secrecy. Every step was calculated, every decision weighed with the utmost care to avoid alerting the suspect. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows over the town, the team moved in. The golden hour provided the perfect cover, blending their approach with the natural dimming of the day.
The element of surprise was crucial. They knew that any slip-up could result in the suspect slipping through their fingers once again.
Yaser, his face etched with years of hiding, was finally caught. The lines on his face told a story of evasion and fear. But now, the chase was over. The town of Justin, Texas, would return to its quiet existence. But the memory of this day would linger, a testament to the relentless pursuit of justice, the weight of evidence, a trial for justice. The news of Yaser's capture sent shockwaves through the community. The families of Amina and Sarah allowed themselves a glimmer of hope.
Their daughter's killer would finally face the consequences.
The trial began, a media frenzy capturing every twist and turn. The prosecution laid out their case, painting a picture of a controlling and abusive father. The courtroom sat in stunned silence as the horrors were recounted in chilling detail. A life behind bars, verdict and sentencing. The jury deliberated, their faces grim. Finally, the moment arrived. The jurors filed back into the courtroom, their expressions unreadable.
The verdict was swift and decisive, guilty on all counts.
Yaser stood motionless as the verdict was read. The courtroom erupted, a mix of cheers and sobs. The sentencing phase commenced, the prosecution seeking the harshest penalty.
The defense pleaded for leniency, citing Yaser's age and declining health.
The jury returned with their decision, life in prison without the possibility of parole, scars of a tragedy legacy and lessons learned. The case of Yaser Abdel Said left an indelible mark on the community and the nation. Amina and Sarah became symbols of a broken system. Their story sparked a national conversation about the dangers of honor killings. It highlighted the need for greater cultural sensitivity and understanding. Their legacy extends beyond the tragedy, serving as a reminder that silence is not an option. In their memory, we must continue to fight for a world where justice is never truly denied. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories that matter.